Hey, it's Beth here, episode 377. I asked Alexa to play some spa music. She said the internet isn't reachable. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I went to go see Amsterdam. There is more drama with the critics than in this movie. Director David O. Russell, okay, American Hustle, Silver Lining, Playbook, the guy's got Oscars. People think he's an amazing director, okay? But this controversy is not stopping. Somehow he got Christian Bale, Taylor Swift, Margot Robbie, David Washington, Anna Taylor-Joy, Robert De Niro, Rami Malek, Mike Myers, and so many others. Chris Rock, Timothy Olyphant, Zoe Saldana, Mathis, this Skorzard, he's a wonderful actor from Europe, Michael Shannon. It's unbelievable, the cast. So all these people said yes to this movie, and all the critics are saying no to this movie because of the director and what happened. Okay, he has a terrible reputation for being horrible. All the directors in the 30s, 40s, and 50s had a reputation for being horrible, demanding, never says rap, works his tail off. A lot of actors love that. It brings out the best in them. It took a Pasadena policewoman to shut him down one day because he wouldn't say rap. Their time was up. He would not stop. He's crazy. George Clooney had a fight with him. Who can't have a fight with anyone? There's a YouTube video of Lily Tomlin. It's gone viral where he's yelling at her. Okay? George and Lily made up with him. Anyway, it goes on. There's more. And I'll get into that in just a little while. I want to say that it's based on a true story. Everyone's saying it's a terrible movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's got Robert De Niro in it. The acting is phenomenal. I would say that David O. Russell, whatever his name is, he is madly in love with Margot Robbie with dark hair. He made her go dark hair, as if she's still not beautiful. She's not that beautiful. The camera lingers on her the entire movie. Okay, I don't know what's going on with him in that regard. That's the only thing that I saw that made him a terrible director, is that really you've got much better people to look at than her. Okay, so anyway, her acting is okay. She starts out very good. She gets very into her nurse role. And then after that, she's as flat as a pancake. But all the other actors are amazing. The story is amazing. It's based on a true story. It was a political conspiracy from 1933. And this guy named Smedley Butler, who was what Robert De Niro plays, and he does a good job. He was given a whole bunch of money to speak at, to speak at this American Legion convention denouncing FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, for taking the dollar off the gold standard. Okay? They wanted to get rid of him. They wanted to overthrow the hobbled president, is what they called it. But they really were mad at him for doing a lot of things that were undermining the health and wealth of America. Okay, so he didn't take the money, and he spoke at the Un-American Activities Commission. Okay, so that's based on a true story. The other thing that's based on a true story is the black soldiers were in the First World War, and it was the 369th Infantry, and they were amazing, and they were nicknamed Harlem's Hell Raisers. And so they did a lot of work. They were great. So this movie has, I love when that happens. Some things I didn't ever know. And it's well done. And it's funny. Everybody puts down all of it. And I think it's because they hate this guy for what he did. It's like going to a wedding, and if you hate the bride, you're going to hate her dress. You can hate everything she says and everything she does. You're pre-programmed to hate her. So all these actors are in this movie. Then this came out just recently about David O. Russell, which was that he was accused of groping his niece. Okay, so his niece transgendered in 2011 from a boy into a girl. David O. Russell was the uncle, and he was curious, and he wanted to see the job that was done by the doctor who did the boob job, and he wanted to touch it just because he was enthralled, because he lives in Hollywood, I suppose. I don't know who these people are, but the whole thing got kicked out of court. It was over. So, I don't live in LA. I don't know what these people are made of. The whole thing just got thrown out, and everybody, whatever. I don't live in Hollywood. I'm not curious about work that is done by plastic surgeons, okay? So, and he is an incredibly vicious director. But all those actors that I mentioned in the beginning wanted to work with him. They supported him. They went out, and Disney spent tens of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, marketing this movie. And all those actors went out to support him. Christian Bale is his friend, and he thinks no one gets the performances out of actors that this guy does. We've all heard about these directors and that they force these performances out of people. I don't know. I don't care. But the critics cared. Okay? Hollywood cares. They hate this guy. You could pour more millions of dollars into it. So I was curious to see it. To see if they're saying terrible things like it's a really cluttered storyline. It's not. The acting is great. You just can't take a nap in the middle of it. And they say it's not funny. Well, it is funny. People were laughing in the theater. There are parts that are very funny. The acting is amazing. The costumes are amazing. All the girls look great. All of them. Every single one. The hair, the makeup, the everything. There's a lot of eyeballs in this movie because, Christian lost his eye. Okay. I don't know what's up with the dilated pupils. It's just something that David put into this movie. Maybe we're supposed to peer in, look in deeply. I don't know what he's thinking. It wasn't even distracting because the movie is so good. It should have been distracting, but it wasn't. But what did get me was I knew this scandal before I saw the movie. So the only thing that took me out of the movie was some of the quotes that people said, because it's a David and Goliath now. You are trying to, all of his scandals in 2011 were probably horrible, but in 2024, they're deadly, or 2000, whatever this year is. They're deadly, okay? So 2022, I don't even know where I am. Okay, so that's what happened. But the quotes in the movie took me out of the movie, like one where Bert, who is Christian Bale, says, "Do me a favor, try to be optimistic." I was just thinking, they probably deep down, while making this movie, understood that they were going up against Goliath. And, the pre-programming to hate it. And then there was this other one. And Bert says again, and he speaks these lines right to the screen. "We find ourselves in a situation where we're accused of killing someone, which is not true." So they're in this scandal that they didn't make. And then there's another one. "A man was killed. They think we did it. We need to clear our names." Well, we couldn't. Valerie says this one line that is just great. And that is Margot Hemingway. Margot, the Australian. Okay. "This is all turning out to be larger than any of us." I'm afraid you're right, Margot. It turned out to be larger than any of you. All the great acting in the world can't stop people from hating if they want to hate, from making a judgment before they even see something. And that's what happened to this movie. So, it's probably going to be up for Oscars because it really is good, but it's not going to make any money, and nobody's going to see it, and no critics are even going to talk about it. So it has had some other troubles too, which is that, they say it's puzzling, but I don't think it's puzzling at all, that it was absolutely not invited to any of the film festivals this fall. None. Okay, it was absent from every major film festival this fall. And all the money in the world couldn't save it. Nothing can save anything if people decide they hate it. So it's kind of sad because they worked very hard. I mean, it was an $80 million budget. It looks like a $140 million budget because the acting takes you right into the story. So just know that sometimes, it's something's dead on arrival. And this was dead before arrival. So that's the mystery behind Amsterdam. And it makes me crazy that people would do that. But that's what people do. So see it on TV. Just do it yourself. You won't be sorry. And I'm trying to stay sane. And these kind of things they do not help me. So take care. Bye-bye.